So as we count down to the trade deadline on Wednesday, these guys made a trade with these guys. And on the surface, you go, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. But it does. It's just surprising the deal wasn't made a while ago. Maybe the Lightning have finally decided to call it a day. Or maybe not. See, here's the upshot of it. Let me go ahead and get into this here. Bishop gets traded by Tampa with a fifth round pick for goaltender Pierre Budaj, defenseman Eric Cernak, and a 7th round pick in the 2017 draft, and a conditional pick in the same draft. Now, that conditional pick likely is conditional on how many games Bishop plays or whether or not he re-signs in LA for the Kings. So let's go ahead and take a look here. Because, yeah, I'm not well acquainted with the guy that he got traded for. Prospect of the Tampa Bay Lightning. He plays for the Erie Otters, 40 games, 17 points, 6'3", 221 pounds. Drafted 43rd overall by the Kings in 2015. So, let me know. I don't have any information on this guy. He's big. He's a defenseman. Not a offensive defenseman, certainly. Definitely a defensive defenseman. So Cernak goes to Tampa with Budaj, 7th round pick and a conditional pick for Bishop and a 5th. And this year's draft, what was it? I think it was Jim Benning said that this year's draft has about 10 projected 20 goal scorers in it. He does view the first 3 rounds as being strong, and then after that he views it as being relatively weak. Now, strong being guys who will play in the NHL strong. So, you'll see a lot of draft picks from 4th to 7th round being thrown in this year. Probably a lot more than usual. I'm hopeful, and I say that as a fan of hockey, that this draft will be better than what's been projected. But anyhow, in terms of this trade, what this does is it does this. I take nothing back from what I said last night. Jonathan Quick is a guy who can make the difference for the Kings. Now they get a backup who can step in. And make no doubt about it. Bishop's being brought in as a backup. Maybe Quick is ready for this comeback, but maybe the Kings want to make sure he's not worn out. Maybe my projection that he'll play all 20 games is wrong. Maybe as good as he looked last night, the Kings are like, okay, we're going to play him 10 games till the playoffs, and we're going to spell him off with somebody, and we want a proven guy. Or they project, okay, we're going to make the playoffs, and if something happens to Quick, is Budaj really a playoff guy? Bishop's kind of proven in the playoffs. Over the last 3 seasons, I think he's given the NHL a perspective on how well he can play in the playoffs. I know they talk about him losing the starting job to Vasilevsky last year in the playoffs. He got hurt. I was surprised to read that today. Oh, he lost the starting job to Vasilevsky. He got hurt. This isn't about losing the starting job. This is about the fact he got injured. So I'm kind of surprised to see reporting like that from, I believe it was TSN had that reported. Vasilevsky proved that he is a starting goaltender in the NHL. That doesn't mean that Bishop isn't still a better goaltender. I still take Bishop over Vasilevsky. But, you know, for Tampa as well, this means they're not necessarily throwing in the towel. Budaj, as a guy who gets exposed in the expansion draft, a lot less attractive than Bishop. You know, he has a better cap hit, certainly, but he's a less attractive option than Bishop. So now Tampa isn't really worried about losing a goalie. They can protect Vasilevsky and If Budaj gets taken, he gets taken, but odds are that's not going to happen. Odds are there's going to be 3 more attractive options than Peter Budaj on the expansion list. So we'll see what happens. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. I think this is a good trade for LA. And at first I had the same reaction to everybody else, like, wait, Quick just came back. Why are they going to pick up Bishop? They want to make sure Quick's healthy, which makes sense. Because, Lord knows, there have been goaltenders who've come back from injury and been played too much. I know that's happened with Carey Price. I'm not necessarily saying this year. I'm just saying that's happened with Carey Price. It's happened with Luongo at certain points where, you know, these guys come back from injury and they just get played a lot. And it's like, you're risking them getting hurt again. So I think the Kings are like, we have a very, very thin line we're walking here. We can't afford to lose a game, basically. They're in that position now where they can't really afford to lose. So Bishop is fantastic insurance behind Quick. And if Quick falters, if Quick has a problem, you got Bishop to slide right in there. It's honestly, it's a smart move for LA, and it means LA is all in. They're all in. They're intending to make the playoffs this year, and they're pulling out all the stops to do it, which makes sense because when you look at the Kings lineup and you look at their core, there's some older guys in there, and there's no guarantee that the younger guys are necessarily going to be able to carry the mantle that the older crew has with their 2 Stanley Cup rings. So this is the year to go for it if you're the Kings. They did it once before as a lower seed. I'm not picking them to do it this year. I know I picked them last year, but I'm not picking them this year. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. We're almost at 2,500 subscribers here. This is kind of awesome. And thanks. And I'm still watching Nashville. Edmonton is 5-4 Nashville. This game is just crazy. I have no idea who's going to win this. Again, this is some of the games that have been going on. There have been some teams that are kind of loosey-goosey on the blue line, and this is what's going on. The Kings are not one of those teams. And by doubling down on goaltenders, they're proving they're not going to be one of those teams. I had actually speculated Budaj was going to get traded. I didn't think it would be for another goaltender. I figured it would be for scoring help. But, okay, maybe they're going to find scoring help somewhere else. Maybe there's something else that they see that I don't in terms of what's currently on their roster. I guess we'll find out. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to y'all again soon.